Wish you wouldn't though. Just keeping it real.
No, since I've been here, it's been nothing but negativity from all of you.
Why would you
Not
say that?
even me still. It's cool. It's cool. I understand the motives. You're not trying to bring a brother down.
I've been on your side.
It's all right.
I've been on your side.
Stay optimistic.
That's how romance works. Each
Yeah.
other out.
There is no romance.
There's no romance.
Definitely no romance.
Stay here. That's all it is.
Okay.
Craig, you're taking me long.
Slow down.
Guys, bear with us for 1 second. We're waiting on Craig. Thank you.
Are you going to put me under pressure? Oh man. You can just watch me do my thing.
Actually, we need to spit out this channel.
That's what I thought you because I need to read the spit. I'm going to say that. It's not really that.
Who said spit or swallow? What
Ow.
One back.
There's only 2 options in this thing. I'm just going to keep it real. Right.
The 2 chewing gum things.
Coming, guys.
No, it don't work.
Okay.
Just want to catch up. Just want to make sure I can see everything that's going on and we can get the show started. Right.
I have no tissue.
Let's do so.
Everything in there.
Talk about myself, guys. It's cool, man. We've got drinks here as well, you know. Listen, we pushed the boat out today, yeah? And then the girls come in there like, no, we just have water. It's okay. Like, look, good drinks there, man. But listen, don't open it unless you're gonna really drink it. Yeah,
Well, I'm not told that I'm a hardback because I'm drinking Magnum.
No,
Is
no
that-
one said that.
Huh?
I kind of feel like that was it. Alright.
You say you've been walking already?
Wow. It's them calls already. Alright, cool. Let's get this thing started. Right. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Why are we not in here?
Yes.
We're just gonna get there. Like,
Yeah.
What one's wrong?
I think Paige. They said a group, but it is what it is right now. So.
Guys, if there's any trouble on Facebook, then just switch over to YouTube because we're live.
No, we're good on Facebook. It's
Okay.
just posted in on our. We've got a page and we've got a group, and it's all a bit of a madness. If you're locked in on YouTube, let us know. Give me a little thumbs up or something. Let me know what's going on. I don't want to let you don't get no sneak peeks of what's going on over here. That's my business. Yeah. Alright, cool. Yeah, you have to.
Still see it, you know.
Yeah, well, just don't look. Then you know what I'm saying. Like, work with me, innit? We're in a confined space.
I don't know why it's that.
Alright, grown Arsenal in the building, make some noise! Good evening. Right, let's before we obviously get going, we've got 2 unfamiliar faces, maybe to you, but you know, family to us, so let's let them introduce themselves first before, you know, the usual regulars, tight shirts and stuff, start introducing themselves. Right, starting from my far right, who have we got inside?
Hello, I'm Kay. Very happy to be here today. Can I just correct you? You said grown-ass men in the building.
Yeah.
Let me just say plus 2 grown-ass. High five me over here.
No, listen.
2 grown-ass women.
Yes!
I need to, you know, you're thinking, where's my
You can see how the show's going to go already. You can see how the show's going to go already.
You can proper see where this is going to go.
Do with a bit of decorum.
Wow.
How's that shirt
I
looking
see
at
it.
you?
Wow, it's literally like that. Alright, so we got Kay, and who else have we got? Grown-ass lady. Mm-hmm.
So, hi, my name's Dion Maxwell. And yeah, I'm here.
In the place, yeah.
Let's-
That's the best intro you could come up with. You knew you was coming up here. Yeah, and I'm here. That's it.
I need no introduction, babes.
Oh,
Hey, one's there, bars.
Alright, cool. Who else we got inside? Let me move on quick.
No, that was a hard one to follow still. Yeah, it's me, it's Darren, man.
Oh, wow, okay. Shout on people, Riggs, what's good?
Obviously, you got myself, the host of the show. Mum calls me Craig, so you guys can too. Right, let's introduce the topic that we got inside. It is a topic that we visited once before, and basically for the second part of the show, I think it's only right that we kind of bring some females on to give their perspective on things. They can give their opinion, we'll give ours, and hopefully they'll listen. That's the aim today anyway. All right. So the show, the topic was, when is it time to give up and move on? And we're talking relationships. And a lot of people say, yeah, like, oh, if he cheats on me, or if he says something, if he starts Instagram or DM and then get whatever, innit, Susan? Like, it's not always that simple. Yeah, sometimes you got to go through ups and downs within a relationship to come out on the other side. So if a man cheats on you, or he sleeps with your sister or something, sometimes you've got to forgive, and you've got to be ready to move forward. Yeah? Because you've got kids already. And sometimes it's not that time to move forward. Yeah? Because we're human beings and we make mistakes. Yeah?
Personal situation.
Just like you.
Oh,
The way you said, because you got kids.
No. I'm trying to give out Susan. This is Susan's.
Oh, is this Susan?
This is Susan. Let's
Okay.
Listen, if I said the scenario, you got to stay there.
Okay.
Stay there till I bring you out.
Susan's case.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
This is about Susan right now.
Guys, this show is going to be fire, by the way.
Right.
Just
This
saying.
is about Susan.
Okay.
So,
Susan.
my thing is, ladies, let me start off with you, obviously. When is it time to walk away? And is there a strict rule that you kind of live by, or like a code, or you do that and it's over? What's the absolute no-no?
Okay, when it's time to walk away, definitely depends on the woman, because everyone's different. But it depends on the woman, because a man could, like, you're gonna have like a time in your head when you're like, I've had enough, and the same goes for a woman. Like, and I've noticed over the years, a man will stay in an unhappy situation, like they'll just chill in it. Like, from some of the males that I know, they don't moan about it, and then like, but women, they're like, no, things have to change, and usually I feel comes to an end sometimes because of the woman.
So
This is just my experience.
Is that not because men have got higher tolerance level than women are?
Maybe. I feel like men sometimes are just blind to it and they just think that everything's okay.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Are we talking personal experiences or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they'll like, a woman will reel off like 5 things they want changed in a relationship, and they'll change one and they'll be like, it's fine, it's good, everything's good.
But ain't that a start?
It is a start.
And is that something to work with? So my thing is that if you come to me and say, you know what, cool, stop playing Xbox, you're playing Xbox too much, or PlayStation, whichever way you go. But and you talk to your man them in the group too much, and you also smoke too much weed. If I give up weed, for example, what's wrong? No, giving up weed now. But yeah, now if I give up weed, or let's just say Darren, I don't know why I'm just alright, let's just the scenario in my head is Darren. If Darren gives up weed, then to me that's quite a big step. Alright, fair enough. It's one out of your 3 demands, but ain't that something that you can work with? Would you walk away still if you said, no, I want these 3 things changed, change them or I go?
Okay, for me personally, if I had 3 things you need to change and you change one of them, I'd be like, that's a start. This is a step in the right direction. We're showing dedication to this relationship. Let's press on. That's me though. There's other people that'll be like, no, I want all 3 now or nothing, and I'm gonna go.
What about yourself? You know, how would you do that?
I think okay. So my viewpoint is love is meant to be unconditional. So it depends on the circumstances, it depends on the situation, and it depends on the people. So if I'm in a relationship with someone and I've been in that relationship for say 7 years, and that person is going through a difficult time which has knock-on effects to how they act. So say they used to go to the gym a lot, now they don't go to the gym and they put on loads of weight, or they had a job, they no longer have a job now. So their life, their own personal journey, their own personal life has started to spiral in a different way. Then I could work with that person and try and motivate them and stick with them, because I realise that situation is like probably 5 minutes in their life. However, if they do something that fundamentally disrespects the relationship, then that's a completely different thing. That's not about you. That's not about you investing in somebody. That's about you being taken the piss out of by somebody.
Sorry, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Because in regards to the first part what you said, isn't that a time sensitive thing? Because like you said, alright, he could be going through a situation in life where, like you said, alright, he's out of a job or whatever it may be, and that's affected him negatively. You're providing the support, but the negativity continues for a sustained period of time. That,
so if you say you've been together for 7 years or 2 years, whatever, and that period of time is still 4 years, and that's a long time. Like to deal with somebody and deal with that is a long time. However, it's still about what they're doing during that time. If they don't expect to be unemployed forever, like I know couples where the guy has been. I know couples where the guy's been unemployed and it was for a sustained period of time. So it meant that the roles in that relationship had to change. Yeah. So now he is more of or was more of the provider at home. So picking up the kids, he was the person that was making sure the home was a certain way, and she was more the financial breadwinner for the two of them. So they're working together. But if it was different and say he was just like, no, I'm still not, you still got to do everything and I'm going to sit here and wallow in the fact that I'm not working, there's only so long that you can work with somebody like that. Like that person isn't trying to help themselves. However, my point is, if you as a couple, you are like working on the same page, you're working on the same hymn book, that's why you're together. And then fundamentally as individuals you start to change. Like your path is over here, their path is over. You've already invested that time, but now it's time to move on because fundamentally you're different people now, so you can't still stay in that relationship.
I mean, tell you why. Whilst I understand about growth and going in different directions, first of all, big up Daniel as well, and Sonia. I often do that with Sonia. But yeah, basically you can grow in different paths, but as long as love hasn't died, can you not learn to love I like to call him the evolved Darren. I'm still in the Darren.
You're going with me?
Yeah. The evolved Darren. Do you understand what I mean? Why can't you love that person? Because your heart should be open to that. If you say that I love this person, I'm in a relationship, cool, and they're changing, and it's not negatively. Yeah. You understand what I mean? Because being out of work or whatever, as much as it's I don't know, it's a disruption, it's an obstacle. It's not that that person is changing, for example. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. And fair enough, the roles in your relationship change. But my thing is, if your heart is open, you truly love that person, you will be flexible to that.
I agree. If the love is unconditional, so if you have unconditional love, there are no conditions on what you will tolerate or what you will accept from the person. However, if, for example, I'm in a relationship and I am bossy and I'm not saying I am, but I'm materialistic. I'm materialistic and I like things, and the connection that I have with my partner is about going on holiday, and it's buying cars, buying shoes, etc. That's our connection. Like, we appreciate each other because of that. And then he turns into a tree-hugging vegan. The dynamic of our relationship isn't really going to be the same. So as much as I might like him still, it kind of be like, we're on different pages now, so the relationship isn't going to be what it was.
And also, it's about like, I think I said this the first time. It's about how you like to be loved, or what you see as love, innit? Like you said, the woman could be like, alright, you know what, Gucci handbags, Louis Vuitton, that's how I like to be loved, innit? And she's getting that throughout the duration of the relationship. And then the hard times hits, he isn't able to provide that no more. And then she's like, well, this is not what I signed up for. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing, like, in regards to what you said about unconditional love, I think it's very rare. Like, apart from your love for your children, I think unconditional love in a relationship is a rarity. I really think it is, and I think it's something. It's a notion.
I'm going to say something really out there. Unconditional love in a relationship don't fucking exist.
I would tend to agree with you.
I
tend to agree with you.
No.
Don't exist.
It does exist.
I've
seen it.
100%.
All right. Let me tell you. All right. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Yeah.
Okay.
Because and I'm going to compare it to a child. Yeah. My child, I've got unconditional love for. Therefore, if my child does something to me, yeah, that could almost look like outside is unforgivable, it's forgivable.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Let me just give you a very harsh and random example.
Yeah.
You love me unconditionally. Good for you. Yeah. Sorry, let me get back to it. Right? Let me finish. Let me finish though.
Okay.
If I then, sorry for being crude, sleep with your mum.
Wow!
Alright, mums.
Wow, I'm doing time.
But apologies, mum. If you're watching, mum, apologies.
No, but hear my point.
You just said unconditional love.
Hear my point.
Wait.
Right.
I also that's not happening, but they said I'm having time. But I'm not from inside the jail. I'm still learning.
My thing is, whilst yes, instantly the love don't stop.
That's sinister.
That right there is what I call a love killer.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because you're
It's a
going to fall.
condition.
There's
a
conditions
condition.
to the way in which you love me.
Yeah.
And that's just within a relationship. Respect is often one of them, because if there's disrespect within a relationship, it often kind of, it comes down or it depletes, it goes, isn't it? But that's why I say there's conditions.
Society dictates that there is unconditional love. Because look,
I'm going to drink myself.
look at
There is unconditional love. My parents were a prime example. But carry on, I'll let
So
you
it's
finish.
happened. So it's happened once upon a time.
I reckon they had a
It
good
wasn't,
relationship,
it wasn't
a great
love, it was
relationship.
with finances, because my mum was accustomed to a certain type of life. My dad guaranteed for somebody. It went belly up. My mum and dad had to sell their house. They were close to the edge. But my mum stayed and helped my dad rebuild himself. Then
And
the
that's-
table
and-
turned,
yeah.
Your
and
mum loved-
my dad helped my mum. You got to say my mum stopped working. Like imagine like your
So
combined
this
income
wasn't
is
this wasn't your
100K.
mum's friend. This was just your dad's friend.
It was I can't even go into it.
Yeah.
Just you know who's watching.
Don't check my business.
But it was like I remember it. I was a young child, and I remember constantly being up listening to my parents argue and thinking, "Oh my god, this is it! Like I'm gonna lose one. You lose one." Didn't. And I genuinely like for anyone else that would have gone through this, it could have been. It could have ended in divorce. My mum stayed, and to this day I'm like I wrote.
And I
But-
think
but
that's
that's
good because
and that's
that gives you
conditional.
hope
This
for
is conditional
the
love,
same
though.
kind of relationship.
It's an amazing love, and honestly, like not to even to mock or play it down,
Yeah.
like that's a dope story. Like to be fair, because a lot of people will walk in that position.
Of
You
So
understand what I
when
mean?
she said, "Don't do this," don't
Yeah.
do this, like,
And
she
then-
was my dad's counsel. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're married, so my dad goes to my mom and says, "I want to do this, I want to do that." Don't do that. Don't do that. He went and did everything that she said don't do. She stuck with him, and it put the whole family in a position where we could have just been on the streets. Hopefully we
Yeah.
never were, but my mum stayed, and it was hard for her. And I remember
And you
seeing
gotta
that in
bless.
her
You
eyes.
gotta honestly. You gotta respect the strength of
mums,
her.
real
Like,
mums,
yeah,
real
but some
mums.
mums for
Listen, I
real,
rate all
man.
the time. Every minute she's like, "I'm tired." I'm like, "Look, you've been through some stuff. Of course you're tired. I rate you. I respect you. I want to be you, and I
Yeah.
because you don't find a lot of that nowadays. People walk out to think what like, oh,
Yes,
my
and
shit's
that's-
my birthday, and we'll walk out. Do you know what I mean?
Generally, I think that is generally the way it will go. That whole thing of people staying unconditionally, that doesn't.
Yeah,
That's
it's a hard.
why I didn't want to say it doesn't exist,
it's-
because you're always going to get the
It's just very
one in
it's
a
a
million.
rarity.
But it's a rarity because, like I said, society dictates it. If a woman stays with a man who's cheated on her a number of times, women will frown upon that.
So
if
the only
so if
reason
there was
the only
unconditional
reason
love-
certain relationships stay together is because it's
No, I'm not even saying that.
No, because of how society thinks.
But what I'm saying is that, like, if a woman stays with a man who's cheated on her numerous times, women in general will look at that and think, "Oh, she's an idiot. She's an idiot." But if there was, if unconditional love was a real thing, then women or people would just say, "Well,
It's just what you do.
good to
You know
them.
what I'm
Whatever. I'm
saying?
not getting involved in their
Yeah,
business."
listen, let me read out a couple of comments, right? We've got a few people locked in as well, right? Shout out to Shalika, shout out to Carmel. Right, so Danielle has said, being out of work should not be a problem if the person is contributing equally in other ways. And that's going back to our first point. Danielle, I apologise, I get too engrossed sometimes and want to speak my part and I don't keep up. I apologise. It's a flaw I'm working. Right. Danielle said it depends on what they will work with. Right. Jack P. Is it Jackie? Is it Jackie?
I don't remember.
Jack P.
I'll take Jack P.
Until you correct me, yeah, it's Jack P. I only believe you could have unconditional love for a child. I agree.
Yes.
It's true, Craig. Well said.
Interesting.
You just
Is that a
winning.
man?
You know what I'm saying? No, it's a lady.
It's a woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Child love is unconditional, which is what I was saying. Shout out to Emma. She said, was the unconditional love between her mum and dad, or the love for you as her daughter is what made her stay and find love with her partner again? Oh, jeez, I like that.
It's
That's a
interesting.
different
Like, and
dynamic.
I've actually asked my mum that as well.
Oh, okay.
I've actually asked my mum, I'm like, say we did that all over again, would you stay? And she said, yeah. She goes, it wasn't about the whole thing of we had children or anything like that. I loved your dad. What my mum and dad had, boy, I don't even know. Oh gosh, if somebody else has that, well done, because that was real love, and that's what, like, they almost like had me in a little bubble. I used to think that's just how everyone is, and then when you grow up and you're like, wow, that is not, not everyone has that. So my mum was like, because of how me and your dad started and how his values, his morals, and the person he is, I stayed. I didn't agree with what he did. She's like, and my mum's a very attractive woman. She could have gone off and probably remarried someone else, and they'd been
Your
happy
mum's
to
is
have
buff,
step-
is what you're saying. Yeah, mum's is buff. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was still,
Was
but she
it
chose to
really
stay because she loved him through and through. And my mum's a person of, I don't know, maybe old school people. They were like, look, when we say those vows, this is for life.
And to be fair, I don't even think that should count. This is my thing. It shouldn't count for old school. Do you understand what I mean? It's like when
Just
old school
in
people say the
general,
vows.
I hear you.
The vows are the vows, isn't it? They ain't
Yeah.
changed. So it's just like, I don't know, where our generation as such going down, the values in a relationship are different.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to walk away from a relationship.
Yeah.
So question now.
Question?
Taking into consideration the example you just used, your parents and whatnot, how great a woman your mum was, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think women are less accepting or forgiving in today's?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
I'll
For
get
me,
yeah, go
for
on.
me, yeah. I'm not saying it's all down to women, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it is nowadays people just walk away from relationships way too easy, like women.
Definitely.
But I think a lot of that, majority of that, is down to the rise of women. Like in today, in this society where we're in right now,
The
yeah,
independent woman thing.
the woman is on the rise.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Like women.
I would
are
say the
getting a
strength
lot-
of a woman being celebrated and being more open about it is more
Women-
being accepted in society.
Women are on the up, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Mm.
But what comes with that is, well, okay, now I expect more. Now I want more. Now I want. Do you know what I mean? And what happens is the dynamics of the relationship shift. The balance is now not equal
Yeah.
in terms of roles and
Yeah.
what's expected.
The roles are more intertwined now.
And what happens now is that what I've seen in brethrens, in just societies, a lot of men are uncertain in their roles in relationship. Like, before you were certain, like, alright, this is my role, this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
now women are doing what they want, earning for themselves, doing what they want, going out, having careers for themselves, which I'm not saying is wrong.
Right.
However, it has an effect on the balance and the dynamics of
Yeah.
a relationship.
I 100% agree, and this is one of the things that I did want to put to you guys as well, about gender roles within a relationship, and well, there's two points. Gender roles in a relationship. When you talk about the rise of women as such, it's hard to kind of accept that term. I don't know how comfortable it sits with me, but fair enough. All right, we're just going to say the rise in terms of women. Has gender roles in a relationship now been wiped out, eradicated, gone, or is it a thing where no, a woman does still want a man to play a role in a relationship and you know be the provider, be this, without trying to go off topic too much,
Yeah.
because I think in terms of the gender roles, it affects what women and men within a relationship will tolerate in terms of staying. Do you understand what I mean?
Definitely.
Because if there's no clear role,
Definitely. The lines get blurred.
exactly.
The lines get
That's
blurred.
my thing. How do I know when I'm going wrong? What are you measuring this
That's
against?
a communication thing, don't you think, when it comes
Possibly.
to relationships? I feel like, and that's why a lot of people should get counselling before they marry, or if they feel like they're in a relationship and they're not communicating well, maybe seek someone to sit down with in your family who can mediate between the two and just like communicate. I think that's such a simple thing. I think, yeah, women, like at one point my mum was earning more than my dad, but they sat down and spoke about it, and voila, there was no problem.
Yeah.
But for some people, it's just not that easy. They're like, I want to be the
It's an
winner.
ego thing.
I don't want you to earn more money than me. And I guess that's when problems do.
Can I ask you both a question? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to basically find out in terms of your moral standards and what you will accept within a relationship and what you won't accept. Is that based on what you've experienced in terms of what you've seen in terms of your parents, you for one, and then obviously you to answer as well to find out. All right. So say if your dad cheated,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Had a baby.
We want to get in your business, basically.
Yes. All right, cool. No, this is what I'm trying to say, because I almost want to test this unconditional love. He cheated, had a baby, yeah?
Yeah.
Your both your parents are black,
Yeah.
yeah? Proud black people.
Yeah.
He was with a white woman as well, yeah?
Okay.
I'm just throwing that in there.
Okay.
No, I know, hear what I'm saying. I'm
You said
throwing
that so nicely.
yeah, I'm throwing this in there because these things do affect decisions. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a baby, yeah?
Yeah.
So now you've got mixed race brother or sister,
Mhm.
yeah? Unconditional love, does that still prevail? Keep you guys together? Not you guys, I mean your mum and dad.
Probably would have, yeah. My
Why
mum
probably?
was-
You said probably. I don't know why you said probably, because it's unconditional.
Probably
She's speaking for
I'm
someone else, so she
99.9%
can't,
sure
she can't answer
it
for
would
her.
have been an issue for my mum,
Yeah.
but she would have stayed with him.
Right. So my next point.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going into a relationship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like I'm setting you up. I'm not setting you up. I'm thinking on the spot. I'm going. You're now in a relationship. You've now met this person and you really like him and blah, well, you love him. Yeah. You think it's unconditional. You think it's like it's on par. He cheats on you. Yeah. Remember, you're your own person right now. Nothing to do with your mum.
Yeah.
Is that an absolute no-no? Is that a cross-off or what?
Is this a yes or no answer, or can I give
You
like?
can say it.
No, you can say.
It depends on the circumstances and how it went down. If I'm
Oh, it
honest with
does.
you. It all
So
depends.
it's not the act.
It's not
This
the
is
act,
interesting.
because we all have different definitions of cheating. So for some people, I'm
Oh,
a
this
friend.
was sex.
Oh,
Sex.
sex.
Yeah.
Oh, fully had sex with someone else.
Yeah.
Fully had sex.
Is there a child involved?
It was unprotected.
I'll stay with him. I will stay with him. I
Yeah.
will stay with him. But if it continued to happen, now there's so many factors
I
involved.
was about to say, you know what?
Let's
Give your act.
Tell the man what to do.
No, there's so many
What's your
factors
bottom line?
involved.
What's your bottom line?
Yeah, there's got to be a
what's the
standard.
Okay, for
standard?
example, I have stayed with somebody that's cheated on me before.
Okay.
I have. We worked it out. But then we broke up later when everything came out. Like, he told me his version of events and made it sound like he had been trapped. And Naivete was like, oh,
Yeah.
stay together. Found out later it was nothing like that. And I was like, bye, see you later. So it depends. Like, some people will like stay with somebody who's openly...
But was that love dependent or was that a respect factor in terms of what it was?
That was a respect. Had he just told me from the jump
You would have.
exactly how it went down, I probably would have stayed with him. We could have worked through it.
That's
Can I
interesting.
ask you women about it? Because I have a big, I don't know, I don't believe women. I say, oh, if you told me, just be upfront with me, I'll forgive you.
Some women
I just don't believe it.
But some women are like that, they don't believe it. But if, say, for example, I've been in a relationship with you for 6 years and this happens, and I'm not holier than thou, like myself, you know, I might flirt. Everyone has a work husband, don't they?
Okay.
That's a new show.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tune in for
But no
another
one's
day.
perfect, you know. And if they've come to you, like I said, there's so many factors involved. If I'm out on the road and the girl's like, I stay with my man, it's different. We can't stay together. Don't make me find out on the streets. But if you've come to me and said, look, I've done something, I've messed up, like, and you look, there's like remorse there, and you're truly sorry.
You've got to cry, basically.
Yeah, like you don't have to cry, don't cry, because then I'll be like, oh, like don't cry.
I'll give you that single tear. No, that one that just
But if
trickles
you
down.
show me that you're sorry, if you
Yeah.
come to me, you say it, and you say you genuinely work through it, it was a mistake, whatnot, and you're just honest about it, well, why can't we work through it?
Okay.
Nobody is perfect. But if
Okay.
I find out from somebody else, or somebody else, or somebody else, and you make me look like a fool about it,
So the problem is just how you look.
not how I look, but the respect that you've come to me and said it is different to then be finding out over there.
Well, I want to ask Marlon and Dion as well. Dion, let me start off with you. If you're in love with a guy, yeah, nice guy. Yeah, I'm not going to try and build this scenario. He's just a cool guy.
That's what I'm going to say.
Alright, listen, he's a bald guy. Yeah, cool, he's got a beard, whatever. But, no, I'm joking. But no, you're just in love with a guy, and he cheats on you. You'd never think, you bring him around all your friends, you think, oh, like, it's cool, it doesn't even come across that way. But he cheats on you, and he lies to you continuously about it. However, he's then caught, whatever, he comes to you and says, look, I am sorry, I'm wiping this person out of my life, I love you. Yeah? And he gives you that pause, you know, I love you. Don't feel the air. Rest. No, but I love you, and I like that's it. How would you deal with that?
I think it depends on how I feel about him. So if I love him, then I'm likely to still stay. If I'm like, well, I like him, he's cool, and then find out he cheats, yeah, I'm probably just gonna roll bounce anyway because I wasn't in love with you. You know, them people that you give a chance to, like, I don't really like you anyway, and then they change, you're like,
That's the
really?
worst.
Like, so I would probably,
That is the worst.
I would be like, I would probably, if I think.
You know, there's someone out there who's like, yeah, that was
Yeah,
wasn't
give
me.
you a chance.
Okay.
And it's happened to me. Like, there was someone I loved. Like, I still love him because I had a strong amount of love for him, and he cheated more than once. The first time, I was devastated. I can't even tell you. Like, heartbreak, diet, lost bare weight. I mean, I was young. I was like really young at the time. And then, but at first I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want to break up with him, and I knew that if I told somebody, I would be forced to make a decision that I wasn't ready to make yet. And then we broke up anyway because he wasn't serious. But the love that I had for him, it didn't go away because he cheated on me. It was more that the respect that I had for him, and I realised he didn't have for me because he cheated on me, meant that I couldn't stay in that situation.
Does that has that, or do you think that would have an effect on your future relationships in terms of if you're in that situation again, you would do things differently?
I think that I still think that people are individuals fundamentally, and whatever route you take to learn your lessons is down to you as an individual. But if we come together and we're going to get married, we're going to be serious about this, I'm expecting that you've learned a certain amount of lessons. So if we have invested, like we're buying a house, we're sharing finances because your money is quite a serious thing. We're going to create children. And I'm in love with you, and you're saying you're in love with me. Then I feel like it wouldn't be that easy for me to walk away from it because actually I'm invested in it. But if the love is gone, I could easily probably walk away from it.
I don't know. Why does that word in a relationship not sit too good? It's almost like, well, I've come this far, so I might. I don't want to be with so I might as well.
It's not about anyone talking about they've come so far. It's about everything you've put into that relationship. You've put in so much effort, so much love, so much time into that relationship.
100%.
To then have that thrown away, you've invested a lot. That's turned into love.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, if I put a bet on Arsenal to win, and I put £10, whatever, I put £10 on 10 times, and that bet don't come in. You know what? It's time to give up. I don't care how much I've invested.
But if you're in love with somebody,
there's no emotional feeling there.
Emotion and logic are two different things.
Yeah.
Emotion and logic are two different things. If you are in a relationship based on logic, it's like, well, I want a house, I want these things, and that's why you're with that person, because you're making a logical decision that you want to take your life to a certain place. Then,
so ain't that compromising on yourself morally, though?
Of course it is. That's not about love. That's about logic.
Are you sitting here as two, young black women promoting that basically cheating is acceptable?
No.
No.
Oh hell no! Not
We're saying
acceptable.
it's dependent on your circumstances.
Exactly.
Whether you want
So
to
it
stay.
is acceptable.
No,
sometimes.
but what you're saying is, if you're in love, if you love this guy
It's okay.
and he cheats, it's okay.
Oh,
to take it
I
back.
thought the other
It's
way
not that
around.
black
If
and
you
white,
are
to
with
be
a
honest
woman
with you.
and you love her,
Yeah.
and she cheats on you, are you just gonna walk away?
Me personally,
Yeah.
and this is not saying this for the cameras or anything. Knowing the person that I am, if a woman cheated on me, I couldn't be with her because I wouldn't be able to sleep. If she comes home 1 minute past the time she's meant to come home, I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck is this woman? Who is she with?
So you can't get over. You couldn't. I'm not saying that you cheat or would cheat.
traffic, I'm saying that.
I'm not saying that you. But if you made a mistake or you did something to her that made her trust go in some way, not necessarily cheated, but you did something. How would you work through that then?
No, but for me, the two don't marry. So, I do something which is not cheating, and she thinks that she lost a bit of trust from me. That I'm not gonna be okay with you going and cheating. No, bro.
I'm not saying that she should cheat in response. I'm saying for you it might be cheating. For her it could be something else. You could gamble away life savings or something. So that could be just as bad for her as you cheating, and be a reason why she'd be like, right, I can't do this with him.
Okay.
Are you willing to work on it so that it doesn't get to a point where you have to break up just because you've made a mistake?
Yeah, no, that's different because then that's.
But then that's the same as cheating. Cheating is.
No.
It depends. It's not really a mistake. Sometimes it's
Perception.
premeditated.
Because if I've made a mistake in terms of, I don't know, where she's gonna not trust me in regards to finances and whatnot, then I can, in my opinion, I can bring that round. I can show her. I can win back her trust. If she's cheated, She can't win back my trust.
Men and women
It's
see
gone.
cheating differently though, because a man seems to think that if a woman sleeps with somebody else, like it's the same, like she loves him or she's emotionally connected to him. Whereas men feel like I can sleep with somebody
But you know what?
and
It's just
not think
physical.
it's just
I'm not-
physical.
I'm
And that's not true.
I'm
Women
not
do that
disagreeing with
too.
you. I'm not disagreeing with you. But for me,
It's happening more. It's happening more lately, but generally,
What's
I do
happening?
think they do
I'm
get
not
more
disagreeing with
emotionally
you.
attached for them.
But for
too.
me, it's not even that. I just couldn't get my head around my missus cheating on me. I couldn't. And if she did it, it would just be done.
Same reason I couldn't.
Alright, listen, let me take it to some comments as well. Guys, I apologise. These are chatting up.
It's a talk
Right.
show.
Yeah, please sit. Don't choke. I'm just thinking, don't choke. Right. Emma said, was the yep, sorry, I said that already. Right, Reen said, I wouldn't stay in a relationship if I was cheated on. Reen, for you to come out and say that point blank period,
Yeah.
it makes me think that maybe you haven't experienced a real relationship. Shoot me if you want, I don't care.
Ooh,
A real relationship? Wow. Maybe it hasn't happened to her. I was not saying she hasn't experienced a real relationship.
I said what I said. Shoulders.
Oh wow! Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Right. Okay, Jack Peters said, I only believe in gender roles. So we're going back. I only believe in gender roles if the man is paying all the bills. I just want to cut coming off
What
right there.
the
I just
hell?
want to cut it off. But hold on, that was a full stop. You can't want a woman to do everything at home, cooking, cleaning, kids, etc., and have a job.
But nobody said that.
Yeah, that's.
I guess she's assuming that that's what the gender roles are. That,
Yeah.
that woman does
Yeah.
that and the man does that.
Gender roles is
Yeah,
for both,
yeah,
both
I get
parties.
Said, sorry, but men don't cheat and then stop. They take a break and continue cheating when the coast is clear.
What
Right,
kind
Jack
of
Peters.
generalisation?
Jack Peters, listen.
Yeah, you've had
I mean,
negative
you're
no.
probably not wrong though. If you're a cheater,
Those comments are all
No,
from Jack
no,
Peters.
some men are like that.
Yeah,
Some
some
stop
men,
their
if you
business.
I agree.
If you have it in you, then
I think
you're-
some men,
yeah.
once they've seen that they can get away with it, they will.
They'll do it, and some
No.
will see that they can lose everything and stop. It depends on the man, his character,
Yeah.
the situation.
I'm gonna be
Every
real.
situation is
I've
different.
cheated previously, but I haven't cheated with my missus now. And the reason why is 'cause I'm not like I know point blank. If I cheat on my missus, it's done.
So
I don't
the
expect
reason
that.
why you cheated before was because you knew you could go.
I was
you
no,
knew, you
no,
knew
no, I was
it'd
young.
be alright.
No, I didn't know, but I was younger, and to be fair, it was a young relationship, and if I'm being realistic, I didn't take it as serious as nowhere near as serious as I take the relationship now. I know now I've got so much more to lose now. I've got a family. I've got so much more to lose. If I cheat now, it's just a madness for my
You're
life.
gonna be a broken man, basically.
Yeah.
of course. Yeah. My dad used to say all men cheat,
Based on
but not necessarily with every woman.
yeah.
So I know.
So if you cheated, your missus would give up and move on.
She wouldn't accept it. She wouldn't accept it.
That's interesting. Let me read out a couple more. Shout out to Dwayne as well, man. We're missing a Pan African today. To be fair, there weren't no space at the table anyway. So we told him to stay at home. It is what it is. But he's locked in. He said, sorry I'm late, but I'm tuned in now. Yeah? Probably said that about half an hour ago. Is what it is. Emma said, as a woman, I would still want a man to fulfill his gender role. But, I love that. I just want to end it there. But if I can do it better than him,
Emma
is it for me?
kidding me.
Hold on. Is it for me to lower my standards to
Emma.
make him feel better?
Emma.
Right, Emma.
It depends on what. Hold on, first. It depends on what. Let's clarify what the gender roles are, right? Because if you're talking about, I don't know.
I think she's talking about money.
No,
She's
she's not
talking
talking about
about
money.
Bedouin.
She's
No,
not talking about money.
I don't think she is. What's she talking
Emma
about?
is talking about a man being, I'm going to speak for you because you're my best friend, a man being a man in the roles of he is able to provide for the household, he is able to do things around the house, he is able to treat you like a woman and do the things for you that he is supposed to do. Like if you have a hole in the wall, he can fix it. If you need the gardening done, he can do that. Like he's like a man's man, so you don't have to do these things around the house.
Yeah.
And she's saying she can do
I mean,
all
Emma,
of
you
those
can
things
chime in. I don't
better.
need to speak to you, but
Wow.
Emma's quite happy.
But you know what? There are men who aren't like that. Who aren't like that, and I think it's down to a man to say, right, you know what, I'm just not that DIY type of guy, isn't it? Like,
Alright, so even if you're not that DIY type of guy,
Yeah.
if
She
you
can't
know
take
that,
all my roles.
if you
Sorry.
know
No.
that that's what she needs or that's what is needed to be done in the household, shouldn't it be your responsibility then to make sure it gets done? So you can hire somebody if you're not the type of man to do it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like, well, it's not going to get done.
You manage the situation.
I'm not saying that it's down to her to sort it out. No way. But likewise, if I think the gender role is for a woman is to I don't know, make sure there's dinner at home, make sure like the stereotypical things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not doing it, then we got a problem. It's not with it. Likewise, it's going to be the same. It's got to be the same.
My thing is that I can't take 50% people like. Don't say, oh, I want gender roles, but then I don't want it to count there. I actually put something on my Facebook the other day. Yeah, anyone who follows me would have seen it. Yeah, all three of you. Yeah, you sort of have seen it. But
carrying the bags is definitely wrong.
Right. No, I go to the gym with my wife. Yeah, seen her lift good weights. Yeah, squats, deadlifts, chest, everything. I've seen it all happen. So she's now got 3 shopping bags in her hand. Yeah, she's got 3. I might have 1. Yeah, she can manage. Trust me, she can manage the 3. Yeah, she can.
Yeah, I'm not
she
cool
could have
with
managed 4.
But
So hold on. Am I supposed to, because I'm the man, say, you know what, babe, no, you put that down.
Yes.
Give me, hey.
Yes.
what are you carrying?
Yeah.
Huh?
What are you
Yes,
carrying?
you should.
It's irrelevant. No,
You're
it's not.
carrying 1 bag, she's carrying 3. You're going to eat the food the
Take
same
all
way, so
4
take the
bags.
bag.
I'm not cool with that.
It's
Alright, so
it's not about what she can
I'm
push,
not
it's
cool with
about
that
you being a
right
Oh, I was
gentleman.
going to say.
But my thing is
Being a
this.
gentleman, you should take
Alright.
them bags.
Right,
It's not even a gentleman.
No.
It's not even a gentleman.
It's the whole gender role.
It's
It's a gender role thing.
It's
I
not-
don't want to go too much off
it's not-
topic, but if it was the other way around, then what? Is she supposed to take some bags off of me?
Why?
What do you mean that way
If
around?
you're
She don't need to
incapable,
be
then
gentleman.
yes. But if you're capable, then
She's
why?
capable.
But your wife
If she's your
only
woman
carrying
and her
1
hands must
bag
stay soft so
then.
she can
If
massage
your
you.
wife
just happened
carrying
that
2
way.
bags,
You take that off then.
that's different.
I had my
But
phone in my hand, but I don't know if
so
that's
your phone
relevant
was
or
more
not.
important than bringing a
It's
food
not,
in
it's
the
not
house.
that important.
Well, it
That's a
was,
deal breaker for
obviously.
me. If I'm carrying 3
You
bags.
know when you're in a group, you got to respond quick. You know what I'm saying? I needed a hand
You
free.
didn't.
If you feel comfortable carrying 1 bag and seeing your missus carrying 3, there's a problem with you.
Yeah, but that might happen once out of 99 times. Does it matter?
Okay, if it's one
Yeah,
time,
but
one
you
times,
didn't
then
stipulate
it's
that.
successful. But
You
yeah,
didn't
it's a
stipulate that.
recurring thing.
Why should I have to?
Because
There's no roles.
Because that's important. That's important.
My thing is,
piece
alright,
of information.
to kind of bring it back in, but in terms of a relationship, just level up. I don't really, and forget to take the bag scenario out. That's why I've put that aside now. But just level up. I don't think that there should be gender roles as such. I think that there are things that I've just been brought up to do, and I've got certain ways and things or morals and standards that I decide to do. But I don't think there should actually be roles. Like, it shouldn't be for, oh, no, I'm not going to wash up those things. Like, that's her job. She can do that. I'm going to... It should just level up in it. If she's out, then use your bloody common sense and do something. You know what I'm saying? But listen, that's just me.
Like for me, if I'm at home and my missus is out and she's out all day and I'm at home for whatever reason, I'm not going to wait for her to come home and cook dinner. No. Because that's a piss take, isn't it? That's a piss take. Because likewise, if the roles were reversed, I think,
What's going on?
I've got to come home and cook dinner, you've been at home all day. Do you know what I mean? So I agree with that. However, I do think there are things that are gender specific and that each person will look at and think, like, the amount of women I hear saying now, taking the bins out, that's the man's thing. Like, that's the man's thing. And it just, I don't know why, I don't know where it comes from, but that is just the case. It's just that certain things are the man's thing and certain things is the woman's role. And it works. But it's when people start changing things up, lines become blurred, and women want to take over the world now.
I'm joking.
No, you shouldn't have said it then. You said take over. Who runs it now?
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
Alright, so we got this thing in terms of relationship. Just to bring it back into context, giving up and obviously moving on. We've spoke a lot about what would you do if a man cheats on you, blah blah blah. I don't think we've addressed the opposite way. Because I tell you what, and I'm just going to kind of give my opinion straight off the bat. If I know within myself, I am not supplying something that I should within a relationship or within a bond that I've got with my girlfriend, my wife, or whatever it is, and she then seeks that elsewhere, and I was fully aware these are the things that complete her as a woman. Do you understand what I mean? When I walked into a relationship, I knew that, yeah, cool, she wants a man to take her out. She wants a man to treat her like a princess, treat her with respect and all of that. And I'm failing let's say on some of those points that complete her, and I get cheated on, bro, I better be forgiving if I don't want to lose that one, and I will be if I know within myself I'm not giving 100%. However, if I know that I'm giving 100% of me and I'm still not fulfilling them roles, enough men are not brave enough to say, you know what, thank you, Dion, bye. I can't, you got, sometimes I think in a relationship, you've got to realise where you're not compatible or you can't provide that person with what they need. So walk the fuck away. Why are you waiting around? I think too many people, I know you were talking about, strength and sticking around. Sometimes just identify it. Cool, I can't level up to this person.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it might not even be leveling up. It might not be, like, sometimes it's not about leveling up. Sometimes it's about what that person wants isn't me. It's just
You're
not,
just not compatible.
It's just not me.
You might like to stay in, she wants to go out
yeah,
to the shard. You're like, I like to be home, that's more romantic.
Exactly. So
Some people are like that. Some people are like, I want to go to.
this is
like,
I've
got Uber Eats.
It's K. So like in some situations, leveling up is compromising yourself and compromising the person that you are. Do you know what I mean?
So at some point you have to compromise in a relationship.
To an extent and to a degree, definitely. I think everybody needs to compromise in a relationship because you change it to be a unit.
Yeah, if you're together for 8 years, you're not going to be the same people you were at the beginning.
Exactly.
So at some point you'll be like, okay, at the beginning of the relationship we used to do this, you now don't do it anymore. But I'm okay with that. And that's
It's like, go on. It's like, so previously on one of the shows, Dwayne started attacking me midway through the show about a previous relationship I was in. And it was the same thing that you were saying. We came to realization that what it took to keep her happy, I wasn't able to do. I wasn't on. We both kind of changed, and the path that she was on wasn't a path that I could compromise myself to line up with, and we had to go separate ways. It wasn't necessarily because there wasn't any love there anymore. It was simply because we could see this relationship was never going to be fulfilling for both of us. So we had to end it.
Question: is love enough?
No.
100%.
No way.
definitely not.
100%.
Do you know what? Yeah.
I think it's a good start.
Which is really
It's
It's a basis, but there's no way a relationship can survive just on
I
that.
can't lie.
Yeah.
For a long time, I was like, what? If you love me, innit? If you love me, or if we love each other, then. But I've realised love actually isn't.
You can love someone that you don't. You can love someone that you don't trust. But I can't.
You can love someone you don't like.
But I can't be with someone. I can't be with someone I can't
Yeah,
trust.
family members. You have family members. You
No,
just feel
I'm
like,
talking about in terms of in the bounds of a relationship, like man and woman.
You could. Let me try and
You
justify
could.
that.
You could.
You can start disliking someone and still love them.
Getting on your nerves and disliking them is two separate things.
Think about it. Your missus cheats on you.
Yeah.
But you still love her. You don't like her.
Remember, you can fall out with someone that you actually still love.
Yeah.
That you have to remember as well. You know what I'm saying? Listen, preach. 1 second, let me just read out a few comments. Right, Danielle has said, not everyone holds on to those values, unfortunately. Probably talking about man, leaving her with that. I'm playing. She got me back today, but she's probably updated my status. But she said, once trust is broken, the relationship won't work. The cheater will have to earn that back and put in the work.
Yeah, of course.
Which contradicts itself, though, what she said.
I don't
The
think
trust will never be the same.
Once the trust is broken, the relationship won't work. But then she said the cheater will have to earn it back. So
It won't. The relationship will break down.
As it is.
It's kind of like you have to
at that
destroy
moment,
it
but
and
you can build
rebuild
it back up.
Yeah, I think it can be rebuilt again. But again, if they're like a serial cheater.
But you know what? You know one thing I was saying.
Sorry. Okay.
One thing I was saying.
When you said that, you looked like directly in my eye, like.
everything.
You just happen to be having a look.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
That was clear in the air.
I was like, I need to-
One thing I would say though, is people need to understand and realise, like, you can win your partner back in it in terms of.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about if you've cheated or whatever on marriage. Like the relationship might have gone sour or for whatever reason, but like. Go back to basics, man. You can go back to basics and win your partner
100%.
back. Yeah,
I'm keeping it real. I don't know that Kavosian, but But I'm going to keep it real anyway.
Nice.
The brown liquors, man, I'm telling you, they're dangerous.
Get angry.
No.
Whoa! No,
Only
you're
some-
not
only
savages,
some-
you're coming with
only
bulletproof
some
vests,
people
man.
have it. But no, even within a relationship, I would say I've fallen in love with my partner a number of times. Do you understand what I
It's a
mean?
good relationship.
And it's
That's true. Still.
Bars.
No, that is cute.
Bars.
I'm going away tomorrow. You know? I'm playing. But yeah, it's,
But is that because you both make effort?
I don't. If I'm going to be honest with you, to answer that, I don't know. I don't know. It's not something that I would consciously
Question,
measure.
you're just
Yeah,
like,
it's just something I can
just
reflect back
happened,
on, and I can see that. Yeah, you know what? And that's not to say that you've fallen out of love. It's just that, like I think we were speaking about it earlier, evolving as people
Yeah.
and I am 1000% different to the person she met 15, 16 years ago. Oh, he was still good looking, but he was
weird.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
there.
He was hot.
Whoa!
Oh no, man! I swear down, you know. I just want to slap the laptop. I want to do
You
that.
were the boyfriend
I
when
heard
you
your
said
one
he was
saying he
still
was
good
wasted.
looking.
Don't go like it's just Darren Forrest shot.
He agreed though.
Oh man!
You're getting the wrong bare directions.
So I said, no, you can't say that. No.
Whatever, Darren. Don't
You're
try
my
to
boy,
flex.
you're my boy.
My hair's so sensitive, bro. Like, don't hurt my feelings, please.
No, fam.
I want to take it to comments. Let me move on quick. You know what I'm saying? 1 second.
Your
Right.
hair was-
Danielle has said,
Sorry, I'm saying.
Oh.
You said Peter.
"This is the attack rate
Go,
show.
go, go.
Enjoy it, people." Let me try and move on now. Yeah. Brown liquor. Anyway, Danielle said, "Love is not enough." And you know what? I would agree. In
I
fact, I'm going to
agree,
go as
but-
far as saying I think love is less than 50% in a relationship. Yep.
Like, I'm not
Let me
gonna
sit with you.
For you.
I'm not gonna
For
Sit
you.
with you.
Yeah. Think about it. Don't rush the answer.
I don't know.
Serious.
I don't know about that.
He said,
I think love is a good start.
I think there's so many dynamics in a relationship.
Yeah.
To put love as 50%, when you realistically think about it, might be
No,
50,
it's more
might be
than
30, but
it's more than.
I don't think it's 50. I don't think it's.
When you love
For me,
somebody,
for me.
but when you love somebody, yeah, you're making the choice to like do whatever needs to be done in order for shit
That's
to
not
work.
true though.
Okay,
No?
that's not
I
enough.
think you should make that decision, but it doesn't mean that you will. Just
Yeah.
because you love someone
So what?
doesn't
So
mean that you're
what?
going to
On
act
what,
right.
on what basis do
That's
you
so
make the
true.
decision to do the stuff?
Your
then?
own, it's your own volition. Is that the word? Might not.
Just
volition.
make it up. Just go. You know what
It's
I'm
not-
saying? You
it's
make up a
not-
word,
it's
just go with it.
It's your own morals. It's wherever you are at in
Your
your
moral
life.
compass.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. I don't think if I love Marlon, say, well, I don't. If
Everyone
I
does.
love, if I love
Oh, really?
Junior Bevan, say, yeah,
Oh,
and
she's a
and he's a good man, but I'm not a good woman. But I love him, but I'm still not in a place where I understand love or I can reciprocate love or give it, etc. So I go and do things that doesn't seem like I love him. It's because love isn't enough. It's not
Okay.
just about me feeling like, oh, I love
I hear
him.
that.
It's about me as a person, my journey, my experiences, my lessons. I'm not quite there yet.
Okay. I hear that.
I get that, and I think that's fair. But it's for me to kind of go back to the first point I was making. I think when you really, I don't think you can put an emotion, which love is, yeah, as half of your relationship. There's just too much that goes on. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you all time. I can see that everything's just sinking into people. Like, yeah, that guy's right.
But I think
No, I think
it's not so
I said that a lot of times.
I think that love will make you want to do things. So love made me want to forgive my ex. It made me want to.
Did I just say that?
No, you didn't.
You probably said it
I
about
said
20
it.
In a
times.
different
It-
way.
Love made me.
When you get home, rewind it. You'll see how to say it.
Love made me want to forgive him.
It's a replay.
Love also made me still talk to him or do you know what I mean? Like do things that actually relationship should have just been done. If I was thinking about it logically, relationship should have been done. But because I loved him, I wasn't ready to say, oh, I don't want to be with you because that meant that he wouldn't be around me anymore. But love also didn't make me just accept whatever he was giving out. Like I couldn't just be like, well, it doesn't matter because I love you. I'll accept that you sleep with all these people, or that you don't call when you say you're going to do whatever it is. Like, love wasn't enough. There needed to be effort. There needed to be respect. There needed to be consistency. There needed to be more than just love. Maybe I do agree.
So you do. So after all of that, what you're saying is you agree.
Yes, I'm allowed to change my mind.
You are.
Cool. That shows growth as a person.
That's very
Now,
cool.
let me.
Very cool.
It's your in terms of your standards, in terms of what you would accept within a relationship, and the mistakes that you make. Are those
I don't
measures
make
different? And yeah,
Oh, wow.
all right. Apart from
I don't.
Dion,
Oh,
yeah.
Say that.
I don't make mistakes. What?
No,
Oh, wow.
you definitely do. And if you don't,
I definitely
you
don't.
probably make too many.
No,
If you think you don't, you're probably making a lot.
The
I'm
biggest
just being
mistake
real.
you're making in relationships is your lack of self-awareness.
Bars.
Hey, Rach,
Bars.
Rach has been waiting all night for that.
Bars.
Yes, nah. You've been waiting all night. I got ready.
Okay, we can
You
go
don't need
there,
that.
yeah? Okay.
Trying to stop sound effects.
Nah.
Drinks.
But no, what I was trying to say is that in terms of your standards of what you find acceptable for what you would forgive, if you was to make the same mistakes, would you expect to be forgiven? Would you expect your partner, if you was to cheat, Marlon, would you expect your partner to stick around?
No. Because she can no longer trust me. Love isn't enough.
So let me just go back. You just get one round, that's it. Cats get 9 life, you get 1, that's it. So, it's done.
Probably. And the other reason I say that is because, like Danielle was saying before about building that back up, building the trust back up, and your relationship getting back to the same level it was before. I'm not really that guy.
Let me give you a scenario. So
I can't build it.
you've been with
build it
somebody
back up.
for like 13 years, yeah? You have 2 children, a mortgage, 2 cars in the drive, whatever you want to drive, they're in the drive. You have your children go to private school, so you have a nice life together. You cheat on her, right? So she's none the while. Are you gonna tell her that you cheated on her, or are you gonna because are you gonna tell her that you cheat on her?
Under pressure.
That's a lot to lose, and kind of like what Darren said earlier, in that women always say, women always no.
Back up away from it.
Stay away. I didn't say that.
I say shit.
About women saying, if he just told me the truth straight off, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
And if I could, if I knew 100% that she was never gonna find out, I was never gonna do it again, and that we would just get on, everything be fine, I'm not saying nothing. I'm sorry.
And you know the thing about it as well. Sorry.
If
Men.
I do generally think that everything does come out.
Yeah.
So my conscience would just say, you know what, I don't ever want my missus, finding out down the road, or, a girl coming up to her saying, you asked her with your man. So I would tell her, but it wouldn't be all those things that you said.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be just love that's keeping us together. It's the investment. It's the thought of, you know what, we'd have to do this now, we'd have to do that now. The thought of starting over again
The thought of splitting the house and
would also be a factor as to whether or not she would stay with me. And
But is that right though?
it's not right, but
Is
that's
that right?
life.
Is that-
That's life.
Is
But
that right?
sometimes
Because-
emotion has
People
to take
want
a
to start.
backseat. You
People
have
want to
think
start
with
thinking
your
about
head
taking
back.
kids out of
It's
school
logical.
and remortgaging houses and looking for a new place to live. It's not just love. It's,
Yeah, but hold
it's
on.
investment.
Okay, but hold on, because I hear what you're saying, but then, like you said, things always come to light in it. So that person who's been cheated on and who is basically saying, all right, I'm going to stay in this relationship because of everything that we've got together, sharing and whatnot. Like, if they're suppressing their feelings, somewhere down the line,
It's gonna
come out.
Yeah.
And so somewhere down the line, that relationship is going to falter, in my opinion.
If you just carried on as normal, yes. But if you go back into that relationship with the goal to build it up and make it better than what it was before, then yes, you can succeed.
Yeah.
But then if you're in a relationship that isn't working, so if you're only together because you have built up this lifestyle, not necessarily because you're in love in the same way that you used
That's
to
not
be.
the only reason they're in that relationship, but it's extra factors to give the relationship more of a go.
okay, he's been cheating for a year. He's been cheating with this woman for a year.
She's just loading up on
Bah.
loading up on the
He's been cheating
scenario.
with this
Oh,
woman for a year.
Bah.
So does that mean? So if he's cheating for a year or
That's
more than
another-
one,
Changes
that's
everything.
another
You have to know
relationship.
There's no respect there.
Right.
That's not a relationship.
But
Oh,
then,
gosh.
so that she finds out now, and the idea of having to separate everything is too much. Like the kids are gonna have to go to normal school now.
She's got to. She's got to.
the
She was saying herself crazy.
Can I say one thing? We're talking about cheating and stuff like that. I could potentially forgive somebody for cheating. I could not forgive somebody for saying they are in love with somebody. They've never ever had sex. They've never ever kissed, but I'm in love with that person. That emotional attachment
Oh, yeah.
would be superior to the
Oh,
physical act in terms of forgiveness.
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't. That I just could not. I'm not sticking around for that.
But what if
I'll be real.
what if
That
you're with
is
someone
laughing.
and you can feel that they're pulling away from you? You know that they don't necessarily, like you've invested, so you've got kids, you've got a house, you built a life together. You can already feel that they're maybe not in it as much as they used to be. But because you're at such a place where your life looks a certain way, should you still stay with that person? So that person could be in love with someone else, but you don't know that. You just know that they're not.
It's like Katie said. It's communication. It's communication.
But there's feelings.
But should they stay in that relationship though? They're not in love with you anymore. They don't love you anymore. But they built up a house. They've got children. They built up a lifestyle.
So then for that person to say, do you know what? Like
I'm saying
this is the situation, isn't it? Like it's about being honest. If you want to stay with somebody for what you've got going on around, what you both of you've got going on, then you've got to say like, this is the reason why I'm here. Like,
People that do that.
you know what I mean? And but for me, that's like a business relationship. It's like a
It's a partnership. It's a partnership that you have both built, and you can understand that not one person can do that on their own. So if the both of you built up that partnership, you can understand people saying, you know, we need to continue this because we've done this together, and we can only continue doing this together.
I'll be real in
about
terms
the
of
scenario.
in terms of standards though, in terms of whether you should be in that. I don't want to hear that word investment. I need to be desired. Yeah. No, I'm being real. Straight face. I need, no, I need to. No, I'm being real. I need to. No, I need to. Yeah, I need to know that there is that passion and connection between the person that I'm with.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will work out a new investment and we can do it. I can't. That's
a new way to work.
Exactly, because remember what I said to you before
That's
about
what
the
you
standards, the
work on.
main things that want, but complete me. That is one of my things. Is my partner to desire me
And generally,
feel
as
loved.
men, most men want to
Yeah.
be needed by their partner, want to be wanted by their woman.
Yeah,
Most men are like,
because of our egos.
yeah, straight
About that.
But
straight.
then equally, I don't think that couples always communicate what their love language is.
Yep.
My good
Exactly.
friend Shah, I hope you're watching Shah. Hi. She's an advocate for love languages. So she
Same.
will
Yeah.
be like,
What's
do you
her
know
love
what I mean?
language?
That's
Can't
a
read.
test.
Well, I'm not telling you about her love. What does it matter?
Oh my days! It's funny she said that. She just put unhappy face. I don't know what that means. Basically, don't chat my business. Yeah.
But Shah showed me that, do you know what? You can be in a relationship, but the way the relationship works is based on how you communicate love and how you receive love. So if I'm the type of tactile person that needs affection and needs to be told, oh, I love you all the time, I need to be with somebody that likes to tell people that, not somebody
Words of
that
affirmation.
likes to be, okay, that likes to...
Sorry, I'm
I
just
like that attitude.
to my love language
Yeah.
crew out there. I'm just
Yeah, you don't want to be with somebody that
Take
just likes to
it
give you
online.
gifts all the time, or that
Yeah.
just is somebody that wants to just talk to you all the time. Like, you need affection and stuff. So
Yeah.
you need to be with somebody that speaks the same love language as you.
And this is where a lot of relationships falter now, is because people are too self-observed. I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. It doesn't matter if you're doing that, because the person that you're doing to is not reciprocating in the way that you're giving it. So therefore, it's falling upon deaf ears. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on a real, like, that's something that I have had to work and find out the hard way. Like, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm giving you flowers, babe. I'm giving you flowers, man. I'm giving you flowers, man." Like, come on, I'm doing. If you don't appreciate flowers, I'm just wasting my money.
Listen, my last question, and we do have to wrap up. All right. As fun as it is.
Love Island.
I'm playing. I'm just thinking my Love Island's and I'm missing it, but whatever. Would you change yourself or your values in order to make a relationship work to keep the person that you're with and you love?
Not my values.
Nah.
Not your values. What would you be willing to change?
I could change.
Bad habits.
Yeah, I
As
could.
far as it goes.
Like I could change in terms of maturity, because like as a man sometimes you do certain things that aren't really in line with your values anyway. Do you know what I mean? But it's about actually looking and thinking about what are my values. A lot of brothers don't know what their values are. They just
Yeah,
give acts.
self-reflection is key.
Do you know what I mean? So I would definitely take a look at myself and say, all right, what am I doing in order to improve this relationship or to make this relationship work? But if it's going against my core principles, then it's not worth it.
What are you saying? You echoing that?
Yeah.
This is kind of like our final review. I might have
I'm
shortchanged
good.
it,
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Basically, we're kind of wrapping up right now, so I'm just
Yeah.
kind of getting your final views on things. That was just a question for me to kind of lead you
Well,
into
young
something. Yeah.
Katie would have probably compromised because, you know, when you're young, you're like, things can change. Things you value when you're like 18, you don't necessarily value when you're 35, 40, do you know what I mean? But now, at this age I am, been through what I've been through, no, I wouldn't compromise. I wouldn't change. Things I would change would be like bad habits. Okay, I'm a little bit messy, do you want me to change that? I'll change that instead. But anything else, core values, like, if you're a family guy, if I want a family guy and don't like children,
Yeah.
no, I'm not going to change that. If I want somebody that's ambitious, but you're like, you're fine in your job that you've been in for 15 years, you're not for me. If I want somebody that's, sometimes you meet guys and they can tell you all the belts they have, and really you just want to know if you can use a drill, I'm not going to change that. I need to know you can use it. Do you know what I mean? So,
There's nothing wrong if you can't use a drill.
no, there is. So I'm not going to.
Just got to know a man who can.
For real,
Let's be
for
real.
Yeah, you just gotta have the money to do it, get it done, innit?
Yeah.
Simple.
No, for real.
As long as you can manage the situation.
So I'm taking it you lot can't use a drill
I'm
because
just
you
saying,
got so
no,
expensive.
no,
Everyone was like,
I'm not ready to talk about that. Don't be fooled by my style. Everything in my wife's put together. But you know what? Gender roles, yeah? We don't have that in our
So
relationship.
wait, your wife put
She carries the
everything
bags.
together and she carries
Yes,
the bags.
everything. And she still cooked for us before she went out. I love you, babe. That's what I need in my life is patience. I'm a woman who's just patient with people. So, but just a last question before I go. Would you, at what stage in life do you get to before you start compromising your beliefs? We spoke a lot before about the alarm bell. Certain women get to 40, 45 or something like that.
Oh wow.
Why are you touching my hand?
Oh,
Why?
sorry, my hands.
You're alright, you know.
Nah, real talk, my hands slipped.
No, it didn't. You
Nah,
placed your hand on my hand.
it slipped off.
Certain women get to 45.
No,
I ain't
no. My hand slipped.
Oh.
That's not even relevant to you. But at what stage do you compromise that if you are still believing in your core beliefs, but you
Yeah.
are still alone?
I don't think you should compromise
You should have
at,
an uppercut for that.
like, don't get to 40 and be like, right, I'm dropping 10 off the list and I'm going to put 10 new things on there and I'm going to compromise. I don't think you ever should. I think what you want, if you believe and search hard enough for it and work it, you will get it. I'm a firm believer in that. So don't compromise. When you compromise, you just end up with this guy that's just going to take the mick.
Or
And then you'll be upset because you compromised.
you don't compromise, you end up alone.
So-
Great. I don't know. Hey, this is a happy home, right?
I don't think so.
Craig is a
Great.
posterer.
I'm not one for changing my values or my core beliefs. I do believe in understanding, self-awareness, understanding
What's
things.
the shots at
Whoa. Excuse me. When we're doing the roundup, I do believe in self-awareness and understanding, my own flaws and kind of understanding my growth. So I may see a change that I need to make, not necessarily as a change in me, but a place that I need to aspire to get to. And if that helps, if that benefits my relationship or help, finding the right woman, then yes, I'm fine with doing that. It's just all about majority, really. Now you can talk.
Oh, bruv.
I know that's so hard to deal right now. But yeah, I have to try and ask you to talk, please.
Wendy's.
I think that people's growth and people's progression is individual, and if they learn a lesson through a relationship that helps them to grow or helps them to become the person that they're supposed to be, then that's fine. I don't see any problem with that. You're not born made, you're not born knowing everything. You grow and you evolve, and how you learn that lesson could be in many different ways. I'm not opposed to finding out more about myself, becoming self-aware through a relationship. However, if I'm with somebody and they're expecting me to fundamentally be a completely different person to who I am, that isn't going to work. So if they're expecting, like, I'm quite ambitious, so if they're expecting me to be like a Susie homemaker, unless you're bringing in like millions of pounds and I can hire someone to come and be Susie homemaker and I can go do something else, it's just not really going to work. So
Money's important.
yeah, independence is important. So I wouldn't want to be in a codependent relationship. I would want to be in a relationship where we can both grow together, and I'm still allowed to grow as an individual. So I'm not opposed to relationships teaching you things about yourself.
100%.
Sorry, I know rounding up and all that, but I just think, just to say, generally, people wanting the person to change midway through a relationship it's not really going to be a man that wants you to do that. It's usually women that think like that and unreasonable, and they go, of course. So.
Oh, they're unreasonable.
I'm just saying, in a relationship, it's generally the woman that was going to suddenly want to change the man.
Act like you've been with every woman in the world, so you know what every woman
Can you
does.
let Craig do his round up,
You were
please?
just talking.
Oh my lord,
You
this
were just
is
talking.
not
You
the
can't
Dion
feel
Maxwell
out
show.
thing. No, it's.
Wow, man.
But you ain't being no grown ass man right now. You're being a
Appreciate
little
that
boy,
last word.
flinging out
It.
generalizations that
Before
mean
the show, you was being obedient.
Wow.
Can we get back to that?
Oh, dead.
Right, hold on. Guys, we're probably going to carry on the Instagram after.
Yeah, I was just about to say, man.
Yeah.
Instagram live.
Yeah. We're going on to that after.
Right. You need to take the drink.
Grown-ass men.
Listen, all I'm saying,
Instagram,
brown
see
liquor
after
after
this.
is a madness. No, but in terms of yeah, you drinking brown liquor before, don't I? But in terms of relationships, I think we should be focusing on compatibility, and at a very, very early stage, because I need patience. I need a woman who's going to be patient with me. And if she weren't aware of, I don't know, my insecurities, my ego, all of these different things, it's about knowing the person that you're with, in terms of tolerance, because that will measure how much you're going to be able to stick around when shit goes wrong. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I've stepped out or done wrong. Do you understand what I mean? But within anything, knowing that person allows the love to grow big enough and strong enough so that you can tolerate obstacles when they actually arise, and knowing yourself towards your partner and what you can tolerate and what you can't, and identifying it and being honest early. I keep emphasizing early doors. Don't waste no one's time, man. Stop getting with people and being with them for 3-4 years. Like, fuck that, man. Like, you knew 2 years in that weren't gonna work, innit? Bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be real with yourself. There are certain times to stick around and work at things, and a certain time to say, you know what, cool, I just can't handle that, or that's not for me. I'm going in the opposite direction. And I think if more people were honest with themselves, you'd have less bitter, I'm not going to say, bitter women especially, because that's what I can relate to in terms of what I know and the relationships that I've seen around me.
But, sorry, just to touch on that, I don't think you necessarily have to say, like, either it's going to work or you bounce. I think there's situations where you can say, do you know what, I need time to work on myself. I'm not going anywhere, but I need time to work on myself. And one thing that I've found out recently is that you can't seek validation from somebody else. Innit? Like, you can't look for somebody to validate. Like, a lot of people will look at look in their relationship and use that as a barometer, as a measurement tool as to how well you're doing. No, that's you're seeking validation. You're seeking happiness. And you're looking for happiness in something where you shouldn't be. Happiness comes from you. Seek validation from yourself. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can step away from the situation for a hot minute, not saying, you have to break up completely and that's it, done, but look for happiness from yourself and try and work things out on yourself, and then be the better you, and you come back to a relationship and be good.
Well, Emma has said absolute nonsense, Marlon. Yeah.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, absolute nonsense.
Wow.
And to my comment, she said amen.
She said amen.
No, sorry. I read that wrong.
Yeah.
She said amen to early doors. Let it go if it's not for you. And yeah, we just kind of align that way. So anyway, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, man, bless.
Guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching for the first time, tell a friend, and all of that stuff. And
Share.
just keep the love going, man. Like, we like to address topics. If you've got any topics that you want us to talk about, I think this is actually the last show as well. Actually, isn't it? Last show, we're gonna have a little break. Yeah, after you've dealt with Dion, especially, you definitely need a break and more brown liquor. So one second, that's all right. But she's very experienced. But yeah, just like, comment, and subscribe, please, and just keep spreading the word, man.
Sorry. After our break, we're gonna have a few shows coming out that we recorded in the YouTube studios. So when you see those, we'll start putting out some adverts and trailers and whatever for it. Please tune in when they come out. Share. You know, we really want to get that around it. We're talking about some serious stuff, and it'll be good shows.
Some things that are really kind of personal, some things that men really kind of struggle to normally speak about. So whet your appetite with that. Drink some brown liquor.
You need to talk up, man. Say it with your chest,
Enjoy.
man. Like, you know what I mean? Get your voice out there, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Project yourself, man.
Anyway,
You know what? You got restrictions on that shirt. The time with you. Hey,
Yes.
hey, listen, guys, we're out, man.